Hello and welcome once again to the Hornby magazine workshop, where you join us with an array of Accurascale's brand new Mark V carriages. So Mike, talk us through what we've got here. Why have we got them?
Right, so these are the brand new Mark V carriages from Accurascale for double O gauge. These are the Caledonian sleeper coaches. These were introduced to the railway they actually entered service in 2019. Construction started in 2016, and 75 being built, and they're to create they create the longest passenger trains that run on the mainline network today.
Yeah, these are like 16 coach long trains, aren't they?
Yeah, serious trains. They were built to fit the longest platform at London Euston. 16 coach formations. There's 2 of these leave London every weekday evening, and they depart from London Euston. One set goes to Glasgow and Edinburgh. That's the Lowlander set, and that's formed of 2 8-coach portions, splits at Carstairs. And the other one is another 16-coach train, and that goes from London to Edinburgh, and then at Edinburgh it splits into 3. So it has a portion that goes forward to Fort William with a couple of extra coaches with it. It has a portion for Aberdeen, and it has a portion for Inverness as well.
So talk us through the various types of coaches that have been tooled up, because there are lots of little nuances, aren't there?
Yes, so there's 4 different types of coach in the Mark V family. So you've got a lounge car, which is basically a seating car where passengers can sit in there. You've got a dining car with restaurant facilities in it as well. You've then got a standard sleeper, which has got a combination of double and single compartments in there. And you've also got a sleeper with disabled compartments as well. So there's 4 basic different types of vehicles in the formations.
You've got a representative set here. Can you just talk us through the vehicles you've got set up?
Yeah, okay, so here we've got one half of the Lowlander set on the layout today. So basically we've got coaches A through to G on the layout, which are formed of a lounge car, a dining car, then we've got 6 sleeper coaches after that as well. And they're a combination of the standard ones and the ones with disabled access as well.
And they're all decorated in the latest Caledonian sleeper colour scheme, which matches with the recently introduced Class 92.
That's right, yeah, it's obviously a good excuse to bring out my Caledonian liveried sleeper Class 92 as well. So the Class 92s are the main traction that take these trains from London to Scotland, and then once they've got to Scotland, when the trains divide into their separate portions to continue their journey, they go forward behind re-engineered Class 73s, which are Class 73-9s. So they've got a lot more diesel power than they used to have on the Southern.
How many coaches are there in total in the fleet?
So there's 75 coaches in total in the Mark V fleet with Caledonian sleeper, and obviously these are different in their interior setup to the Transpennine Express Mark Vs, which we'll cover in a separate video as well.
And there's 60 or so used every night, I guess?
Yeah, so there's 4 sets in operation every night. So 2 going from London to Scotland and 2 going from Scotland to London, and then there's spare coaches as well.
So talk us through the packs that are available.
Okay, so most of these are available in 4 coach packs. So unfortunately some of these were now sold through already with Accurascale. They were very, very popular when they came in. So you can buy 4 coach packs. For example, to create the Lowlander, there were 4 coach packs to create the full 16 coach train. And then to create the Highlander, which is the one that splits to go to Fort William, Inverness and Aberdeen, there were 4 packs again for that, but one of those is a 6 coach pack. Because one of the portions gains an extra pair of day cars on it when it gets to Edinburgh as well. So you can model all of that as part of that.
So let's talk about some of the features of the coaches, because they've got lots packed into them, haven't they?
They certainly have, yes. I mean, these are very feature-rich coaches. So for starters, you've got NEM coupling pockets at both ends of each coach, standard fitting, but actually they all come with magnetic Delner-style couplings on them as well. Now, they are actually, they work really nicely when you've got a short train, but unfortunately we did find that when you get above 6 coaches, that occasionally the magnets aren't quite strong enough to hold the coach together going around some curves, so you do get some splitting sometimes. So what we've actually done with this formation we've got on the layout now is I've swapped out the magnetic couplings on the front half of the train for fixed bar couplings instead, and left the back end with the magnetic couplings so we can demonstrate the operation as well. Really nice to see that actually the magnetic couplings are really designed to look like the real thing as well. Really neatly done.
They've gone to a great deal of trouble to get all those little intricacies just right, haven't they?
Yes, very much so.
All the end details just right, and actually there's lighting on the ends as well.
There is, yes. So there's actually, would you believe, there's 3 separate switches in these coaches, which are all triggered by a magnetic sensor. You get a magnetic wand in your box with each set of coaches from them. And then there's 3 switch points on the roof. So there's one at each end which controls the tail lights, because every coach has got the option to have tail lights at either end of it. and it's then there's a central switch in the middle as well, which controls the main lighting for the coach as well, for the interior lighting. And a little wave of the wand over the top of those, and that turns that lighting on and off as well. If you do take the interiors off, take the bodies off rather to see the interiors, then you will find there's interior detail in there as well.
That is another level of detail, isn't it? On a coach which is got tinted glazing, have got sleeper compartments, but actually that detail is in there as well.
That's right. And you talked about the end detail. I think the end detail on these is fantastic. And actually the close coupling that's possible with both the bar couplings and with the magnetic couplings as well is really impressive straight out of the box. They'll still go around second radius curves, no trouble there. But one of the areas that has really impressed me with these actually is the underframe, because all the underframe is in full relief. There's even edge metal grills on these as well, on the underframe. On the underframe.
It is impressive. I mean, when you look so closely at what's there and all the differences between the vehicles, you know, that's an impressive level of detail.
It certainly is. And then you go beyond the physical detail, as in the physical mould of detail, and start looking at the actual printed detail that goes into them as well. And then again, it's phenomenal. There's stickers and badges everywhere, all over these coaches. Really impressively done.
The coaches also come with a set of destination panels as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so they come with separate destination panels which you can fit into the side of the coaches as well. It gives you the choice to have all your coaches either lettered up for going from London Euston to Edinburgh, or Edinburgh to London Euston. I decided to be clever with mine. One side's got Euston on it, and the other side's got Edinburgh on it. So if I run my train in different ways around, then it'll be going to one destination or the other.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah. But they're quite simple to put in place. A couple of dots of super glue around the opening. Obviously, be very careful with super glue when you're on a painted model like this to make sure you don't get any on the bodywork. But a couple of dots of super glue around the corners of it. Very carefully drop it into position, and then it will seat in there nicely, and the coaches are complete.
And with all this detail and all this relief that's on the models, what are the running qualities like? Because it must add a certain amount of weight to them.
Yeah, so actually, when running quality wise, there's a little bit of rolling resistance on these, but nothing that's too dramatic at all. I mean, the Class 92 happily rumbles around here with 12 coaches on it, no issue at all. And I've seen other people have tested them with the full 16 as well. We don't quite have enough space for the full 16 on here, so they do run really nicely. I did have one which had a squeaky axle, just a drop of oil on that solved all of that. And actually they've run really nicely around the layout, and actually again going through crossings, point work, all that kind of thing, no issues with going through that, no issues back to backs or anything like that either. So
the open frame style of bogie has been very well produced as well.
Yes, it certainly has, and it's quite unusual to see a coach with open bogie frames like this. Tricky for a manufacturer to make, because that means you've got to have inside bearings even on a model, which can be more difficult than pinpoint axles, and that does sometimes lead to a bit more rolling resistance than you would get with a pinpoint axle. But a bit of care and maintenance, these will be perfect. So.
I mentioned earlier as well about the tinted glazing. That's on all the coaches, isn't it?
It is, yes. So tinted glazing is on all the coaches. They've also got printed window frames on them as well. And you also see that some of the livery elements actually pass over the windows as well. Again, all those elements have been researched and designed from the prototypes, and really add to the package of these coaches.
All you need is the gentle aroma of haggis, neeps and tatties coming from the club car, from the little galley room.
You might need that. I'm happy with that.
So, to the important part, price and availability.
Right, so I'm going to start with the availability part first, because it's one of those negative, positive pieces here. So the positive is that from Accurascale side of things, these coaches have gone down exceptionally well. They've sold through very, very quickly. From a consumer's point of view, not so good, because they actually have already sold out by the time we've gotten here to do this review. However, we know that Accurascale will be doing more Mark 5s in the future, so it's a good reference for any future possible purchase you might want to make. Price wise, these start from £179.99 for the 4-car set and rose to £209.99 for the 6-car set. And I should also add in here as well that actually the lighting functions on these as well, they work with both DC and DCC control systems straight out of the box. No need for decoders or anything like that. You just put them on the track and the lights work straight from the track power.
Where can you read more about these wonderful new coaches?
Right, so the full review of these is available in the latest issue of Hornby magazine. That's issue 190, our April 2023 issue, together with a full history profile of the Mark 5 coaches as well. And don't forget, if you're one of our digital readers, you can read all of that online as well at keymodelworld.com.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed this look at Accurascale's brand new Mark 5 Caledonian sleepers. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.